What is up, Bertini fam? Now, this is in fact not clickbait. Yes, what you read in the title is very true. My turbo performance bagger is for sale. Now, before I jump into today's video, if you have not yet joined the Bertini fam, go ahead and click that subscribe button and the notification bell. This way you can stay up to date on all of my content. I put out weekly videos. Now, my bike right now is not physically at my house here with me. I need to head over to Blockhead Moto Garage to pick up my bike. So my bike actually is on display most of the time at Blockhead Moto Garage for those of you who are interested in seeing it, but I am gonna go and pick it up today because I am gonna start filming a little bit of content with it before it actually gets sold and picked up. By the way, if you're interested, I will include a link to the Cycle Trader listing in the description box below if you're interested in possibly purchasing my bike. I'll go ahead and include a link in the description box below where you can go ahead and check it out and hit me up if you're interested in seeing the bike and potentially purchasing it. With that being said, go ahead and roll the intro. So just got here to the Blockhead Moto Garage. By the way, if you are interested in servicing your motorcycle, I'll go ahead and include links in the description box below as well to where you can get your bike serviced here at Blockhead Moto Garage. Make sure you go to the service tab and book servicing there. And obviously, if you let them know that Bertini from YouTube sent you, of course they'll take care of you. Now, it's really quiet in here today, but for those of you who don't know, we are in front of probably the coolest dyno room in the industry. By the way, this has to be the absolute dopest dyno room. This is where a lot of the famous videos that all of you all see on Blockhead channel, this is where the dyno content is filmed. This is pretty much where we all hang out, is in this area, while Chris does his magic over here. But this room is so sick, so dope, super state-of-the-art. It's really, really, really nice. There is a bunch of bike stuff going on right now, but there goes my bike over there in the corner. So I haven't actually seen my bike now for quite some time. The last time that I've laid eyes on my bike, I think, was at when we did the grand opening for the Blockhead Moto Garage. I think it was the last time, so probably with a lot of you all, this was the last time that I actually turned it on and had seen it in person. But obviously this thing is still looking super sick. Like I said, I'll include links in the description box below to my Cycle Trader listing, but the bike is for sale. I'm asking $65,000 for my bike, full carbon fiber bike. There has not been any expense spared on my build. It is a completely built motor. It is the best and baddest turbo kit that you can put on this thing. It is full carbon fiber, and yes, that is real 100% carbon fiber. The wheels have been done, the brakes have been done, the suspension has been done. I have custom one-off parts, like my radio delete kit is 100% carbon fiber, one-off parts, carbon fiber handlebars and steering stem. I have Dakota digital gauges. I even have the black rings installed on these things. I mean, this thing, Arlen Ness mirrors, and like I said, I'll include links to everything below, but all of the best components have been used on my build. It is an absolutely insane build. I'm not saying it because it's mine, but I'm sure if you've seen it on other YouTubers channels or other people mentioning it, it has been featured all over the web. This bike in total has more than 10 million views across the web, so definitely an eye turner on the streets. Everybody looks at it. This thing is ridiculously fast. I am going to get on it here in a second. Wow, I'm getting tongue-tied here. Look at this thing, by the way. This thing is just, I mean, it's nice. Let me show you on this side too. Let me get in here, see carbon fiber. This carbon fiber, well, not that, but this is the, I think it's the Barnett clutch, the Scorpion clutch. The whole driveline is built, chain drive. That chain alone, I think, was like 400 bucks just in the chain. Lightweight battery. My bike does come in really light. I think I actually have one of the lightest baggers in the industry, minus, of course, the ones that race in the Performance Bagger Racing League. But I've had my bike scaled, and I think it came in at like 680 something, which is mind-blowing in comparison to other people's bikes, like let's just say if you take like a Lowrider S or something like that as an example, with this you're literally getting a full bagger, and my bike has almost the same running weight as this. I think that bike is maybe like 20 pounds as an example lighter than my bike with all my stuff on it, right? And that includes the passenger pillion seat and the backrest and the sissy bar, the whole nine. So super lightweight build, super lightweight bagger. All of the YouTubers who have taken this bike out or have ridden it, anybody who's actually ridden my bike always says it is not just insanely powerful and insanely fast, but this thing is crazy lightweight. It almost feels like you're not even on a bagger, and yet I have all the performance benefits that come with a bagger, right? So this thing cuts through wind like absolutely nothing, and it just looks so damn good. It's still comfortable enough for touring if you did want to tour on something like this. But yeah, overall a really nice setup. And by the way, obviously I just shared everything with you at like a super high level. There's way too many parts to list or for me to memorize all of the parts that are on my bike. But it is a lot of stuff that's been on this bike. If you were to do this exact same build with all the labor that's involved, getting the motor to where it's at right now is just, I mean, you could see it in the Cycle Trader listing. It is a lot of parts that have went in, and this bike, I mean, is pretty much used for the most part for content stuff. If you think about it, it has like 2,300 miles on it or something like that, 2,400 miles. So the bike is still pretty much in brand new condition, and I think we've done on this bike probably like 6-7 oil changes. Probably like 4 transmission oil changes. This bike is like overly serviced, so spark plug changes numerous times. So this bike has been just super well maintained, super detailed. It's really nice. I'm sure for those of you who have seen it at the grand opening party that we had here at the Blockhead Moto Garage, I mean, this thing is just super nice. It sounds absolutely sweet, which we're going to jump on here in a second and get some riding of it, but it's fast. It sounds really good. And yeah, I think it would look really good in any of y'all's homes. I'm hoping it does go to a good home, but super nice, definitely overbuilt bike that'll last you for a really long time. Well, I'm excited. It is pretty cold out right now, so I'm going to go ahead and jack it up, and then we're going to go ahead and take this thing out. I'm really excited. I haven't not been on this bike, like I said, probably for a few months. I think the last time I was on this bike, I was drifting it out of the parking lot in Mexico, of course. I think that was the last time I was on this bike. But yeah, I'm excited to get on. So let's go ahead and take it out on the road. It feels so good finally being back on the bike. I can't even put it into words. The Kool-Aid smile that I have on my face right now, what it feels like being back on the bike. It's just such a different experience being on this thing. The power delivery, the smoothness, how it feels, the connection you have with the bike. Like I said, many of you might not know this, but this bike is extremely lightweight in comparison to most baggers. I think I've reduced the overall weight on this bike. So we weighed in dry at 691 or 693. So we've shaved like over 130 pounds, I think, off the total weight of what it originally was when we had it weighed. So significant weight savings when you put a bunch of carbon fiber and you change out most of your parts for super lightweight parts. Now, I don't typically ride without gloves, but unfortunately, I don't know where I put my gloves at. And I really wanted to get out and ride. It is going to be raining today. It is a bit cold out. But unfortunately, I can't find where I put my gloves. So that put me in a situation where I had to go out without them. And I know some of you are all like, well, you should probably not ride without gloves. And I agree to some extent, but I'm being extra careful right now, I guess. It's funny, getting out on the bike just for the little bit before I got it out to these back roads, seeing how everybody like stares at the bike. I mean, just everybody and their grandma, I swear, figuratively speaking, of course, kinda, stares at the bike. It's like everybody wants to know why the hell it sounds like that. It's just so nice. Man, other than it about to rain here in a little bit, it is so beautiful out today. I love this weather here in Florida. When it gets like this, where it's like the gloomy, cloudy look, it's probably one of my favorite looks. In fact, I know the sun is important for us, you know, getting that good old vitamin D in, but I actually really like this gloomy weather. Like, I can live this gloomy weather all year round. It just feels so nice outside. It's like perfect riding weather. Oh, that feels so good. The sound of this turbo, man. Oh, there goes some riders. Look at that. Man, and I'm sure you can look back in the video at my wrist, like not even like barely any throttle. Getting onto this thing is like, I mean, just mind-blowing how fast this thing is with the 131 built motor, as well as the Trask turbo, the stage 2 custom turbo kit. It's just mind-blowing how quick this thing is. Man, I should have worn a jacket. You guys are about to see my tatas out here. This thing is just freaking Kool-Aid smiles. Woo! Oh man, it's crazy, but it really is like infinite power. It's like, it's just non-stop. It's just constant power coming in. You always have power on tap. I think when Blockhead did a review of my bike, that's what he had said, and it is like the perfect depiction of the bike. It's like there's an infinite amount of power going into the bike. Before you know it, you have to switch gears. It's just a hell of a feeling between the 131 and the turbo system, the Trask turbo kit. It's just crazy, and the bike handles so ridiculously well. I actually had to do the A1 Cycles isolators on this thing, and I had to do a stronger, I think it's called a pivot shaft. I had to do a stronger pivot shaft. I should actually probably do a review on that because I didn't get to film that video. But I had to do a stronger one because the bike has so much torque and power that it actually bent the factory pivot shaft, and I needed a stronger set of isolators to be able to hold all the power that the bike puts out. It is crazy the way that this bike feels. And as I mentioned earlier on, my bike is for sale right now. This bike can find a place in your garage for $65,000. I'll put a link in the description box below to my Cycle Trader listing if you are interested in purchasing this bike off of me. It is a hell of a bike. You are saving a hell of a lot of money. If you were to build this bike yourself, like do the exact same build, it would cost you at least 10 grand more of what I'm asking you, depending on the labor that you are, depending on the labor that you're putting into, or where you're getting your labor from. It could be a lot more than that. It's funny, every single time I meet another biker, it like throws me off. I'm like, in my train of thought, out of train of thought. Oh man, every single time. You cannot ride my bike without a Kool-Aid smile. And I don't mean like literally like you have to jump on and have a Kool-Aid smile in order to ride my bike. I mean my bike puts Kool-Aid smiles on people's faces. It's like contagious. You cannot, or infectious, you cannot not smile with this bike. Just the sounds, the visceral feelings, the smells this bike puts out. I mean, it is just so connected. I think one of the things that people complain about a lot of the newer bikes is they don't actually feel like Harleys used to feel, being really connected. My bike, you feel connected with the bike. It is just like, it's a different feeling. It's different than riding anybody else's bike. I know everybody who's jumped on my bike has had the same opinions that I have of it. It's just a different feeling being on my bike. You feel a lot more connected and planted, and it just sounds so good. It feels so good. It's just a really tight machine. And then this thing just handles like a dream. The Nowaski suspension just keeps it really tight, along with the Trask swing arm. And like I said, A1 cycles, their isolators, and then the pivot shaft. This thing just feels super, super tight. I guarantee you the cops are going to be out here later, because that's typically what happens whenever I do reviews on anything. Cops end up showing up because I make a lot of noise. They hear lots of turbos. They're probably just coming to see the bike. It's just an excuse for them. We all know the truth. Anyways, I should have a few more videos coming out on this thing before this thing gets sold. Hopefully it ends up in one of y'all's garages, and hopefully it ends up in a really good home. With that being said, that's it for today's video. Make sure you're putting out good energy into the world and you're paying it forward. I'll check y'all out later. Bye now.